Good morning, everyone. Today we are at the lesson 2 entitled Technology as a Way of Revealing. I am Quinilyn Von Tilapina, and together with my group mates, Gwen Marsada and Jennifer Makalaging, will be going to discuss this topic. The outline of this lesson are the following: lesson objective, human condition before Common Era, human condition in the Common Era, and the essence of technology. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to explain the concept of human condition before science and technology. Identify the change that happened in human condition after the science and technology, and name ways on how technology aided in revealing the truth about human being. So pay attention, listen, and we will going to start. Comparing the lives of people before and now will make anyone realize the changes that happen in society, not just in terms of culture, language, or rights, but more importantly, changes in people's way of life due to existence of science and technology. And this term generation gap is attributed mainly to the changes brought by the technology. However, this gap is not something to worry about. Instead, it is a challenge for people in the field of science and technology to make this technological advancement more accessible and less confusing for people who are not as young anymore. Through science and technology, people get to experience what it really means to live because it helps people in more ways than one. Since there have been drastic changes in people's way of life, it can be inferred that there have been drastic changes not only in the conception of human flourishing but to people's actual human condition. These changes were brought about by the interplay of different factors, but essentially it was brought by science and technology. So let's proceed to the human condition before Common Era. It is pretty difficult to pinpoint what period the surrealist technology started. But in this topic, we will be tackling how the period of human through time make things more easier. So during the time of Homo erectus, it is surprising that they know how to produce a fire without realizing the law of friction and heat. They use fire for cooking through chipping one flint over the other to produce a spark. This human era is called the Stone Age as they used stones for making tools for living. And then Homo sapiens and humans began to sharpen stones as one would a knife. For example is the wedge that you can see in the right picture, that is an example of a wedge. However, there is little to no written accounts except for several cave drawings and unearthed artifacts from various parts of the world that narrates how their culture came to be. It then proves that there is a little capacity for our ancestors to contemplate and perceive things outside themselves in more reflective manner. Soon enough, people discovered minerals and began forging metalwork. They also began to have the fur clothing and use animal skin as primarily used for comfort against harsh winds, and gradually they added several more to their garments. They also have taken a liking to a certain shiny stones or a perfectly shaped bone and wanted to wear it as a trophy. Excavation on the latter half of the Stone Age include several figures thought to be ceremonial, meaning that perhaps people of the time had also painstakingly wrought and wood said in honoring some deities.
So, hi everyone, good day. By the way, I am Gwen Marsada and introducing to you the next topic that we are going to talk about, which is about in the human condition in the Common Era. This era, which is in human, are content with the relationship with nature for a very long time. In the earliest case of a man-made extinction occurs over 12,000 years ago and is possibly brought upon by hunting and territorial dispute. Like the Holocene extension, also called as the sixth extension or more aptly Anthropocene extension, occurred from as early as between 100,000 years to 200,000 years up to the present. It pertains to the ongoing extension of several species, both flora and fauna, due to the human activity. The growing population in the human condition in the Common Era also necessitated finding additional resources which leads to overhunting and overfishing common prey, some of which were endemic to the area. Hunting, coupled with the changing terrains that the human began cultivating when agriculture emerged, which is around 9,000 years ago, caused by several species to lose competition in territory and food resources. The formation of communities caused humans to expand more in territory, add more people to feed, and more populated, with large separated communities hailing from same ancestors and residing with the same large community paved way for civilization. Albeit waging wars with other tribes seems to be early solution. They were able to find out some in 5,000 years ago that engaging in a peaceful negotiation was also a possible and less bloody method. Trade emerged, which they realized that they could get hold of things that are not present in their town by offering something to the same value present on theirs, which leads to cross-town and eventually cross-cultural interaction as more products were exchanged and initial needs extended to wants. And people then had a new objective: gather as much product as possible that they have turned to wealth, as one of their goals as human, ultimately as civilizations. Product of kind were exchanged and ranging from necessary wants such as crops and other of kinds, and also other needs like clothing materials, metals, accessories, weapons, so as in the field of literature and entertainment, and also one of which people used for a daily living. Humanity also become more complex, and goal is not just to survive but also like the good life. Technology also been instrumental in all of this, because in searching for a good life, people were able to come up with creations that make life easier, more comfortable, and more enriching. They perceived death as at the very least unpleasant and concocted potions towards evil of their kinsmen, often appealing to their gods for blessings. Medicine was born at this time, although it would take a considerably long time before it part ways with potions. People also become fixated with gold and were adamant in procuring more on this timeline, trying to use incantations with mixture of substance that leads into one. This ultimately paved way for the emergence of chemistry and its primitive form. Due to races, belief, and abundance of resources and/or territory, war were always being waged, leading to communities to allocate resources to the militia. Initially, the early leaders were those who portrayed exceptional strength, and among their groups, this condition which is carried for generations. Advancement in medicine, technology, health, and education ushered in humanity yet to show no signs of stopping. Like the mortality rate. Due to technology, lesser women and children died during birth, assuring robust population and strong workforce. Medical care for premature infants allows them to survive and develop normally, while proper maternal care ensures that mothers can fully recover and remain empowered. Second is the average lifespan. Aside from the reason that people engage less in combat and are less likely to die in treatable diseases, now as opposed to then, science is able to prolong lives by enhancing living status and discovering different remedies and most diseases, which allows the distribution of medicine the made easier and faster. Third is the literacy rate, the access to education which provided to more individuals generally, which creates a more informed public that could determine a more just society. Fourth and the last one is the gross domestic product, or GDP. Although not an indicator of an average person lifestyle in a certain country, but it is often used to determine the value of the country goods and services produced within a territory given a certain time period. Now let's proceed to our next topic, which is the essence of technology. Humanity has indeed come a long way from our primitive ways. It is, in a general rule, it is said that we are more developed than we are before. We see ways and means from the nature to utilize and achieve growth, a goal that we believe we bring forth betterment. In retrospect, this view of technology proves to be a goal-oriented. It assumes that it is instrumental in achieving a goal in mind, that is purposeful, deliberate craft humans there in order to reach some greater good. In instrumental definition, technology is a means to an end, while in anthropological definition, technology is a human activity. Both of which definitions are correct, but neither touches the true essence of technology.
The essence of technology is not anything technologically. Technology must be understood as a way of revealing. By entering into a particular relation with reality is revealed in a specific way, and this is where technology comes in, since technology is a way of revealing that characterizes our time. Technology embodies our specific way of revealing the world, the revealing in which humans takes power over reality, allows humans to confront the unknown and see how the world reacts. Life is filled with uncertainty and worries about the future, while many things remain outside your control. Your mindset is the key to coping with difficult circumstances and confidently facing the unknown. Science and technology gives us explanation but does not take us to the right direction. New knowledge which serves as direct source of ideas for new technological innovation, creating a knowledge that becomes increasingly important in the assessment of technology in terms of its wider social and environmental impacts. The essence of technology. A good life is one which is practical in essence. The science are one of the most sought after courses, for the opportunities are plenty and the resources are bountiful. The path we are treading will not take us to the right direction, leading us in endless circle instead of our pursuit of the good life. It was science and technology that gives us explanation which work for us and benefit us. Finding hope and having purpose are important too. People and experiencing all of this in the midst of the rich web of relation where one belongs are at the heart of what the most will agree makes for a good heart. Develops knowledge that enable more efficient strategies of applied research, development and refinement of new technologies. Science, innovation, and technology each represent the successively larger category of activity that are highly interdependent from each other but distinct. Backtracking human condition. Human condition improve only when improving. We measure the level of comfort in the various scientific breakthrough and improved lifestyle to those who had the luxury to afford to choose. Different machineries aid in the prolonging lives, assisting those with disabilities, even exploring the universe efficiently in industrial workplace. When we say backtrack, it means to go back or to retrace the past. We are to do this, we can exactly say that there are lots of differences from the past and the following history that happened until now. Way back everything was simple. The human experience in literature contains themes about life and society that are relatable to readers. Themes relate to the human experience encompasses any commentaries or on society or human nature, such as death, relationship, human rights, or conformment. Going back over to compare the past and present, there are longer lives in the past, which is last until a century. Unlike today, people don't age that much due to our food intake, habits, and practices, vices, because Because of that, side effects took place. The incurable one, which is death. Because of our abundant resources and modern technology, we become lazy and dependent to it. But those times, people would work harder in order to survive. However, things did not much differ as some places of the world are still battling for their daily survival like disease, tribe wars, lack of habitable territories, competition on resources. People still wage war except now. They are able to inflict in a global scale. While it is true that technology offers us the notion of truth and the good, we should be staunch in our resolve of we want to know the real one. A lot of people subscribe to religion in explaining things they did not know. Some turn to worship the reverence of science. Technology advancement are similarly occurring in a piece of that morality cannot be quite kept up. No such consideration was given in the approach in achieving good life.